Okay, parang kayang manalo nung ano. Kayang manalo ng nung pro. Kaya nila manalo, feeling ko.
And each one of these phases is going to be devastating for those who give first blood.
Let's be honest, all 3 games have been a tough game to call. It has been a coin flip back and forth between these 2 teams. I do feel like SRG, there's a lot on the line of how is Innocent going to do on this Clint. Yes, sometimes the Clint can be an amazing pick, but for me,
inagaw lang niya.
not enough of a box
Nagpalit lang sila hero.
Could be an easy target
Exchange
for Pro Esports.
I think he's going to be the main anchor of the team. He's going to be coming in the last person to show up. I think it's going to be Cram who has to somehow zone out Saw to keep him outside of that area.
Grabe yung Bellery. Yun lang talaga hero niya.
Let me tell you, that
Walang
is
iba.
going to buy him like 3 seconds worth of time, and that could be like anywhere between 6 to 19 auto attacks.
Very, very fair at that.
Manalo matalo, Bellery pa rin eh.
Nobody going for the big invades. You do see Yums kind of checking out Orange Buff to at least figure out the pathing of Coily here, but nobody trying to overextend. It is game 3. It is a lot on the line right now.
A lot on the line. I love the pull yourself together coming out from Saw. He understands. I'm willing to trade flickers, but most importantly, if I catch somebody without theirs, it's game over for them. And I like the fact that Pro have adjusted, right? They didn't get super aggressive in the mid stages of the game. And more importantly, for the mid lane, they want SRG to kind of walk out here. They've already figured out the jungle pathing of where Sakai's is going to be with the help of Cinco de Pepe, and he's made sure he knows, okay, he started on Orange buff. They're going to show back up on this turtle side again, so level 4s are going to be key.
Good poke from Innocent there. Is forced to use the Revitalize, the Rejuvenation. On the boss side, Turtle will be up. Sakai's going to look for any angle in, but again, both teams just taking things so slow. It's so different compared to what we saw previously.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Speak of the devil though, a lot of damage on Yums. Yums taking out first blood into the
yun lang, may link.
Stormy
Yun lang.
looking for a target, but forced
Palag,
to run away.
kaya.
Pro Esports.
Kaya oh.
Domination over the pit. Cram drops as well.
Lamang
2
pro
members
dun.
outside of SRG. Skies
Link.
isn't done just yet. Coily low.
Kung ako sa
Stormy
inyo,
Vision
bumakayo.
back to the party. Doesn't have fist crack available to him. He's still level 3. So we can't get a big playoff.
nag-flicker.
Zoning them away
Okay
as
na.
Pro Esports takes the first turtle.
Ganda.
Trying to drag this out as long as possible, and really unfortunate for Cram, right? He finds the initial assist, but unfortunately he can't keep fighting forever when there's so much CC on the opposite side. Unlucky for Stormy, wasn't able to get the steal the Wrath of the Dryads fast enough to buy him those precious few seconds to get a little bit more out of his Shaw residue passive. In the meantime though, this first turtle already in the hands of Pro, a very slight lead, but the lane states hasn't really changed too much. Maybe for Sorry on Felix, but for everybody else, it's pretty neutral.
Siren Felix just consistently rotating up to this mid. We can already see the slight aggression. They smelled blood. They're looking for maybe a little something more here. Cram hanging out in lane. But I mean, that's kind of the plan, right? You wait until the objectives, and that's when you want to use that Black Dragon. Whereas when you're on this Freya, you want to move around a bit more. You have the ability to do that.
Yeah, the lane states are so important, especially like manipulating these waves. Cram understands if he hard shoves this, there's a good chance that Sorry on Felix, if he's there at the right time, he's able to kind of freeze him out and will always take a negative trade against him if he's next to his tower.
Oh, Coily walks right into it.
Yun lang.
Danger has struck. Sakai's gets the kill.
Naagaw.
Intelligent invade here. They knew for a fact he was going to show up, knowing that he started on the top side of the map. So this was all pre-planned by SRG, and also not to mention the fact that they've denied information. On the top side, nothing much is going to be happening here, right? Like, we're expecting both teams to get more aggressive, but I think the lane states are by far too important to disrupt.
You know, you would think Pro has maybe learned the lesson a little bit. SRG has loved coming down to this bot lane. They love that tri-bush. But it looks like Pro loves Stormy. They're looking for the
Pinalagan.
Sorry, and Felix is
Nice.
he finally gets
Bok
it.
na.
Consistently
Pitas-pitas lang.
finding moments to
Nagawa
get
ni
an
Stormy
advantage.
doon.
Every single time. And luckily for Sorry on Felix, he's not wasting much. He's just going. He wants a whole priority, doesn't mind sacrificing. Oh.
Nice fist crack. Doesn't fully commit, though. Knows he wasn't able to get more than one.
That's a Black Dragon form.
Oh,
I think
right.
they just have to give this up unless Cram makes a super play where he petrifies 3.
Cram is looking for it.
Kaya?
Able to connect though.
Kaya
Sorry, Felix
pumalag.
connected himself. Will get knocked up, but it's just to make sure Cram can get away.
Oh, grabe lamang ng pro ngayon.
As Sakai's
Ganda
points
nung early
his eyes
nila.
elsewhere.
All right, that was expected here. It was going to be a no contest no matter what. Humans made an attempt, and unfortunately, that's going to be the signal to back away. But sorry, Felix is becoming a little bit of a problem. He's starting to take more control over his side of the map, making it more difficult for people like Sakai's to even take his regular camps.
All right, so Pro Esports with good control over the rotations, good control over the map. Sarim Felix seems to be a step ahead of Cram. We saw this in game number 1 though. SRG just needed to wait for that mid state till they can start working together, start overpowering as a team. Right now they're still playing a very split up game. Do we think that moment's gonna happen around the 7-8 minute mark when some of those second items start really locking in?
I think it depends on who gets this upcoming turtle, right? If they can deny Sakai... Oh!
A lot of damage on Humes. Saw able to get the kill. Sakai's wants to try to dash into the backside, but he's unable to connect. The stuns are just too much. The stiff arms are always there. Tempest Blades comes down. Maybe a bad play. The re-engage is there.
Oh, sakit mo.
Tower, finding Innocent. Stormy just looking. Coily doesn't want to stop.
No, they're so good at extending their leads, but it's still going to be flying clouds, right? They will be able to get back into their base, into the fountain, and immediately
Delikado yung SRG.
recognizes this.
Grabe.
Luckily, we're seeing just how fast with the hand cams, how quick these people are playing. But let's look at this one more time, because again, it's really coming down to how hard can we punish Humes. We take away the trigger man, and the rest of the weapon just doesn't fire anymore.
Yeah, and Cinco de Pepe, PPPPP, whatever you want to call him, the guy has been on fire, always catching Humes. And it's not just this game. We saw it before, even on the game that they lost. This Belleric has been a nuisance overall. It makes it so hard for SRG to want to engage.
Yeah, and worse yet, now we're seeing the infection starting to bleed out from that EXP lane. Small camps getting taken away, and now they fight.
Damage on a Stormy.
Sakit.
Not able to get away. Sorry, Felix with an upgrade set, but in the back lines,
Ganda.
guys trying to make up.
Yun lang. Ooh, nice one.
Pro Esports Cram falls next. And Pro Esports
Naku po, SRG.
It's nothing but Innocent left.
They can't do anything
Tomba.
about it. The peel is too good, and if
Hirap niyang
SRG
clean.
makes the first move, it's going to be Pro who finishes it. As they take this T2, let's look at this fight one more time, because again, this is a terrible position for SRG. They want to have a traditional front to back. Innocent doesn't have as much mobility now that he's playing Clint, instead of having something as good as a Harith or even a Moskov, or more
Ba't
importantly,
kaya Clint pinik sa kanya?
Getting disconnected. It's no longer a front to back.
Pauso
It's a
lang,
front
ganun.
and back, because someone else is standing in between them. And at that point, once they're split up, Stormy gets taken out. Sakai's already committed to the backside, which means he's going to get taken out because he's got no backup from his team. SRG is getting intersected every time.
It's starting to look like a bit of bullying, right? You know, he's coming into and stealing the meat from your sandwich, leaving you with only 2 pieces of bread and nothing good in the middle. It's difficult, but it's not impossible. We need to start seeing the third item start to come on through. Unfortunately for Cram, not even the second item has been completed, so he hasn't been able to sustain as hard as he wants to. And there, the Wrath of the Dryads is out. This might be the signal.
SRG isn't going to force it, though. I don't think they can force it right now.
No, the IMU got wasted, took the Salmon Force, did not get the Wrath of the Dryads there. They're just going to have to let this happen.
Sakai's at least on top side looking for some play on the map. They haven't taken a single tower yet. So not only is it a huge gold lead, it is a huge map lead for Pro Esports. Sorry, I'm Felix, 2-0-3. The man has been a monster on this Freya.
It really has. And the worst part is that they have no real... Oh!
Big stun, a lot of damage on a Stormy.
Grabe,
Takes it as well. Coily, untouched, unfazed. Another tower should drop here. Pro Esports relentless.
This is disgusting. Like, Sa can do this forever. This is such an impressive play style. 80
Whoa,
seconds to
Nago.
103. That's a
Nago.
23-second difference just because he has pull yourself together. And Sa's going to do it again. He's going to keep repeating this process, targeting Stormy to make sure that they don't have any form of counter engage, because Humes is the only one who's allowed to walk forward.
So do we think we're regretting the Ling pick up front? Maybe should they have gone for something else? I feel like at this point, the Harara or the Ling, it's an even trade no matter what. No matter what, you get one of them. Maybe you can start prioing something else. Or is Pro Esports just outplaying in a general sense?
I think it's outplay, and I think I wish they were thinking, I wish we had Lapu, but here we go.
Oh,
Guys, looking for a way to
magaw.
backside. Furley still able
No.
to get it once again. Sakai's looking for the steal. At least they don't lose any members. They still have a holy
Pero
defense
dapat
in
ang
the mid and the
Jake Bush
bot.
yun, ha?
This could be
Masyadong
defendable
kampante
still
yun,
against
no?
Pro Esports.
That was a difficult contest here, especially for Sakai's. Despite the bladed Tempest, right now he is 2 levels down to Hirara and has plenty of base damage just to kind of go above and beyond the retribution numbers that we're seeing so far. And now that SRG backed all the way into the corner, we're seeing a repeat of game number 1, but this time for Pro.
Skies continues to play the off lanes while his team defends. The holy defense will be in the mid side for when this Lord comes.
Ayun, 1v1.
Pro Esports may not be able to get a full push in.
Tinakbuhan. Kaya?
Is this the 1v1?
Kaya? Oh.
There we go. That's it. That's what Coily has been doing all game. Oh, you're going to recall in a very dangerous spot. I'm going to waste another 5 seconds of your life. And these 5 seconds have been stacking up already.
Seal play on the top side. Cinco to Pepe. Looking for a
Oh,
target. Cram forces the
nakuryente
back
eh.
off.
Okay.
Rather
Naubos si
try to
Buhay
get
di
it,
Cram
not
dun.
just yet. He's holding on to it. He finally pops it.
Kaya?
A lot of damage on you.
Pumasok
Side
na
to
si
backside.
ano.
Kuzin gets the
Oh,
kill.
Kuzin.
Into the backside
Yun
as
lang
well.
yung siling.
Blades comes in.
Kaya? Nakaligtas yun.
Secure as Coily.
Grabe ka, Pepe.
With barely a sliver of health. 2 members drop on the side of SRG, but they
Gondo.
do defend their inhibitors.
It's down to the wire. It's down to 1 HP. That makes the difference in Pro. Unfortunately, it was a good play. The SRG, they had the answer, but they didn't have the economic lead to make it work.
Honestly, though, the fact that they lost no inhibitors is still huge. I might rather want to lose 2 of my team members than lose that off lane. Lord is going to be up soon. Macro is going to be important. Where we are at in this game right now.
We are at quite a difficult moment for SRG because now, at the very least, they're willing to throw bodies for these inhibitors. They don't want to be put in a forced mistake scenario, but at the same time, they clearly don't have enough numbers to finish off the correct targets. I think the only person they can really jump on is Sa. Kozen, he's vulnerable for the next 30 seconds, but by the time the Lord actually spawns, he's going to get the Purify up again.
Walang buwat factor yung hero ni Innocent. Ang hirap niya, clean. Ano bang 0-1 pa yung score?
That's a good question.
It's comfortable.
Ano kaya
Right? The
item
map
yan?
It's not like what we saw in game 1 where
Ayan.
Pro had 0 inhibitors.
Nako,
It's gonna
ano
be
ha?
hard to fight for Lord. The
Walang
possibility
stack
is
yung ano niya.
still slightly there.
Ang tawag
It is.
dyan.
Thank you, Zipper, for pulling it up. Already 1 step ahead of me here. But yes, 3 items already done, but I don't know how they're going to take advantage of the Sky Piercer.
Ayun.
This might have been a little
Sky
bit of a mistake
Piercer.
on Innocent's part, but
Walang
at the same time,
stock.
I think it's a lot of faith as well. The rest of the team is like, we will put
Kawawang
HP. If
ano.
you had Sky Piercer just a little bit earlier, and you could auto-attack,
Kawawang Clint.
that would have been a 2-for-2 trade. So at this stage, my hands are up here. I'm praying that SRG can find that angle, but Pro, they have not made this easy.
Nako,
Look at this position.
may gagawing pangarap
right now.
to.
They're definitely going to try to fight for this Lord.
Gagawing
Do they
pangarap.
cheeky back? They do not know. It's a very clean
Gagawa
position.
ng
Nobody
ano,
checking
miracle
push on the
play
side of
to.
Pro Esports. He's gonna come into the
Huli,
backside.
kaya?
Conceal play.
Nagaw!
Skies gets the Lord.
Nagaw!
And a big fist crack. But Pro Esports has a
Oh,
just yet.
shit!
Saw drops as
Naku,
SRG tries
boy.
to get away with the steal of their
Boy
lead.
ba?
The steal of this game.
Yun lang.
Really low.
Yun lang!
Shuts him down.
Hindi na pumalag.
SRG
Oh.
have flipped the table.
They've done it. I thought they were going to play for the fight, but unfortunately, Hume said no.
Grabe.
We are going to go straight for Coily. They locked him down. The iframes are good, but it's not.
Ayun lang.
Goes out.
Ayun lang ang sakit.
Tries to do something, unable to do it. Kuzin. Koizen?
I don't know. Kozen slapped him. Just a big backhand to Stormy, saying, no.
Oh,
This
nagaw.
is not over just yet. We're dominating this game, and we're going to try and run away with it.
SRG.
Yun lang.
Just one
Ang laki
play.
ng balik.
We were talking about it. It wins the clock ticking. They didn't need a clock. They just needed Humes in a beautiful position coming in from the backside. Sakai's finally able to get a neutral objective under his belt in game number 3. And now they are knocking
Grabe naman nakahabol sila doon.
I can't believe both
Nabaligtad
Graham and
agad.
Humes technically survived that. They used everything to try and disrupt Coily from actually taking away this Lord. And SRG knew that if this next Lord falls into Pro Esports' hands, there's a pretty good chance this game ends in the next 4 minutes. But now they bought themselves some time. The investment has been
Tanggal
worth
ang
it, and we're
momentum.
getting to the end game. Now that we're at 44k to 47, despite a 2.5k lead for Pro, Sakai's alongside with Innocent have completed all of their core items.
Man, they didn't check that bush. They didn't check that bush. I've seen that bush be used against teams that I like in my own favor. Nice fist crack though, does come in. Poison takes a little bit of damage. Black Dragon.
Oh, ang sakit.
Cozy goes down. Sakai's able to get the kill.
Naku po.
Comes in from Coily. The
Hindi nila mapitas si Cram. Ayun na, okay na.
He's able to find it.
Naubos na. Ayun lang yung clean. Nagsakitan ng clean. Palag. Oh!
Stormy and ties it up. It's 3 for
Ganda.
2. Pro Esports definitely not out of this.
The push and pull was good from SRG, but Pro said, I got one better. Really unfortunate for Sakai's. He was willing to
Wala pa
die
ring-
to trade off. Look at the replay.
Wala pa ring stuck yung Sky Piercer ni Innocent.
And all of a sudden, with the counter engage coming in from not only Humes, but forcing Pepe to drop down that Wrath of the Dryads really turned the fight in SRG's favor. But here's the problem. After everybody continuously fought for this long, the big play came down to when Sakai's ended up going down after Beleric caught him with the taunt before he goes. Then, how do you deal with Freya? You can't deal with that fully
Yun
scaled
lang.
up Freya, man.
Man, I think the whole crowd right now is on the edge of their seats. We are on the edge of our seats.
Everybody's praying. They're praying for their teams, hoping there's a God out there to give them some strength, because 7 to 15 so far, and Pro has not been able to put the final tombstone on SRG.
And everyone still has inhibitors.
Yeah.
Meaning, honestly, this could go another Lord after this. This is just a clean Lord take where nobody loses too much. This could still go
Makukuha
a
yata.
little bit
Free
farther.
Lord.
Pro Esports is going to start it up.
Kaya?
Cram does have Black Dragon. We're going to wait for that one
Nako.
used as well with the fist crack.
Nako, yan yung link.
Dots
Nakita
everywhere.
na.
Sakai's to the backside.
Oh!
Wait a
Oh!
second.
Lord! Oh!
Once again.
Oh!
And the damage comes down onto Saw. Humes trying to get away with his life. As
Ayun lang!
the team back, but Saw
Ayun lang!
won't make it against Sakai's.
Oh my goodness, Graham, despite everything
Grabe
he
yung
absolutely
ano ni
tried,
pang-out,
the dashes
pang-babox
from
out
Coily,
ni
he
Cram.
played it perfectly. I-frame to dodge, manages to sneak pass, and even then, it wasn't good enough. If they can hold on for just a little bit longer and protect an inhibitor, maybe there's an opportunity, but I don't think it's going to show right now. Here they
Wala
come,
pa rin
Gozen.
stock yung
He
Sky
still has
Piercer
that
ni
Xama's
Innocent.
Force.
He does have the summons force. Pepe's low though.
Ang
Grass
sakit.
will come in.
Ayun,
Response
pinilit.
force drops,
Oh!
taken out. Coily's going
Doon
for it.
natapos.
Dashes in, does miss. Has
Hindi,
to get
hindi
out of
pa.
the base. Taken out.
Uy!
Innocent with the shot.
Uy, nakita!
Into the backside. Sakai's falls.
Back na?
Poison. The kid's on fire.
Wow.
On fire. Pepe
Wow.
managed to flicker out
Ayun na,
just
may
in
isang stock na
time
si Innocent.
before the ammunition was about to dome him. Oh my goodness.
May Sky Piercer
I don't
pa
know
kaya
who's
siya?
gonna win this game, but by
May
God,
Sky Piercer
this has
pa
been
kaya
the most
siya?
fierce competition we've seen so far. Stormy now finishing off that Holy Crystal for the sake of the extra little bit of damage. You notice that every single time both teams interact, so many people walk away with 1 HP, despite Sky Piercers being in play.
I feel like honestly with that last Lord push, all Pro really needed to get was an inhibitor out of it. You only had 3 members. You're up against the Clint and a lot of just siege defense potential. The fact that they were able to get the inhibitor is a good start. But like I said, we're going to another Lord. Pro Esports still has inhibitor standing. SRG has gotten to the max item point almost. We're getting very close to tie game material.
All right, Zipper, I need your help. We need to know how many Thunderbelt stacks Humes actually has. I need to know the numbers here to see how much damage he can technically take. Because so far, Kozen has been absolutely melting. Oh!
Still play.
Saw gets
Ayun
the
lang.
stun.
Graham.
Mababurst?
Unable to get away the
Ano?
Kozen still gets
O yun lang.
But a beautiful place into
Pero
it.
nakapitas din si Ling.
But Coily's chasing him down.
Kaya,
Poison.
hindi na. Hindi na, kalma lang.
Mage for
Pwede
EXP.
mag-load.
Not bad, not bad. And honestly, I think it's more worth it to get rid of Saw. Now they don't have to worry about, you know, something getting blown out of nowhere. And the best part is by the time the Lord actually spawns, Cram is already up and ready to go in comparison to the staggered death timer coming in from Eudora on Saw on the opposite side. So if SRG want to take first position, they absolutely can. But then again, is it playing to your strengths, or do you want to be the ones who push Pro out of the scenario, right? Make him hesitate on the trigger finger.
I feel it. I feel it. I think without Cram, though, it is a little hard to break through. But Sakai's either way, even without Cram, has been doing such a great job at invading that backside and slipping out so quickly. Yooms once again looking for position around this Lord. As Pro Esports play the map, are we going to see Yooms look for that back push again, and will Pro Esports check it?
Oh, I don't know. He doesn't seem to be taking that space just yet. There's no reason to. And I think from Pro's side, they've kind of set a neutral state. Top side is going to eventually turn into a slow push. Same goes for that bottom side as well. With that extra minion here, SRG need to be the ones who reveal themselves first. But if they do, that means Pro is going to start blitzing the Lord. It's a game of cat and mouse. It's about information. It's just corporate espionage at this point.
Corporate espionage, I like it. We did see Coily whittle down to that top side to get the push back. SRG are going to look for the engage. Cram hasn't used the Black Dragon just yet. Yooms there as well. Has an immortality. Can take a lot of shots. Can take the big push. The Sakai's looks for an angle. Pro Esports bring the
Kaya
down
yan?
10%. Sakai's hasn't
Uy.
made the engage just yet. He finally comes over. Coily still gets it.
Tsaka
Sean Felix
nakuha
backs
pa
up.
rin.
Pro Esports got what they
Hindi
want. They're not gonna
makaretry
force
si
the fight.
Sakais.
No, they're not going to go any further than this. This was a dangerous position to be in, but now we see the minions pushing into the way Stormy will respond just in time. But this is where it gets really difficult, because now we're talking about a Lord that also gives you damage reduction. Pro Esports just need to gather the troops and get ready to try and press their advantage into it, which is great for Innocent. But the question is whether or not that damage reduction is going to be more than the true damage Innocent can pump out.
It's a lot of damage from Innocent, I will be honest. Pro
Cute
Esports
kasi
are
nung
gonna take this
ano eh.
bottom lane though.
Clean.
It's going to be a double push from both sides. Sakai's cleared the top. Going to be a little bit helpful, but he's got to get back to the base quickly.
Delikado na
Innocent, he's running out of all
sila.
charges here. He's still... Oh!
A
Oh!
lot of damage onto the bot.
Oh!
Damage onto Cram.
Buhay!
Maybe
Buhay!
away from this. Black
Buhay si Cram!
looking for the re-engage.
Ayaw i-hit!
Sorry,
Ayun!
still stops him.
Grabe, ang tagal i-hit si
Going
ano,
up
Cram.
against Kuzin, but Kuzin
Naka-def,
always
back
seems
na.
to win out.
Wala! Hala ka! Hala ka! Hala ka, Lodi! Naku ka, bakit ka pumasok, Lodi? Oh! What the? Oh, wow! Grabe si Coil. Sana i-end yun, no? Tinapos? Tapos na ba?
What an insane game to kick off day number 2 here. Cambodia finally gets the win.
Oh!
Do they produce some
Aga naman ng ano nito? Ang aga naman ng celebration nito. Unang panalo pa lang.
that game? I think